like to preface my comments by saying that I'm uncomfortable with this subject. I've known Carmelo Anthony for over 13 years, and I'm very sad about what I'm going to have to say right now. But it's the truth. Carmelo Anthony is going to be remembered from his days in New York as an individual who not only did not win, but allowed himself to get pushed around by Phil Jackson. Carmelo Anthony did speak. He did give quotes. But considering the $122 million offensive juggernaut of a player that he is capable of being, there is no way in hell that Phil Jackson should have gotten away with the things that he has said about Carmelo Anthony and the position that he put Carmelo Anthony in for the latter part of the last season and a half at least. Phil Jackson passed the buck. He put the onus and the responsibility on the shoulders of a star he gave very little support to in terms of the coaches that he picked, the system he attempted to implement, and the other parts around him outside of Kristaps Porzingis. Melo, meaning Carmelo Anthony, not only didn't speak up nearly as much as he should have, but never demanded a trade, consistently swore that he wanted to stay in New York, and as a result of that gave the impression that his lifestyle and his association with the New York Knicks were far more important to him than winning a championship. And he did that by allowing Phil Jackson primarily to do the talking for him rather than doing it for himself in terms of speaking up on his own behalf. Carmelo Anthony is a really, really good dude. He's a fantastic offensive player, even with a messed up knee, because his skills are sensational. But in the end, at some point in time, the man that I know him to be off the basketball court needed to be that man in front of the cameras when it came to talking about Phil Jackson, who repeatedly, unfairly threw him under the bus and treated him like a fair-weathered stepchild. And Carmelo Anthony did little to nothing to speak up for himself, and as a result allowed Phil Jackson to, at least to some degree, control the narrative about him instead of Carmelo taking the bull by the horn and doing it himself. And if this is indeed his last day in a New York Knicks uniform, his last day with the New York Knicks, unfortunately because of Phil Jackson, that is the way that he's going to be remembered more than anything else.